Guys, I am rebuilding this lower unit, and there is important procedure. You can see the tools, we will get back to them soon. Important procedure which is called forward gear backlash. So we need to define a backlash between the forward gear and pinion gear. If you want to know everything what was before, you can subscribe, and video about rebuilding of this gear case is coming, but already now in the same playlist you have a lot of information about this gear case, including how it works. I show you here on this nice card, and here we focus on just that procedure about forward backlash setting, because it's a kind of a difficult procedure. And so backlash is here. Yeah, I think I explained this, and we cover also what tools are needed and not needed. And guys, I do it while I'm trying to solve this problem, so I'm not recording just the content for you. I just share all problems that I met during the assembly process. So be with me, because you probably, if you decide to rebuild yourself, will meet the same problems. Let's try. The first tool that you need for this forward gear backlash procedure actually coming here in the previous procedure, Pinion Gear Depth. That procedure suppose that you set this clearance between pinion gear and reverse gear. So that is regulated by shims here. This procedure will come to the full to the video about full assembly of this gear housing. Again, subscribe to see this video. But the tool comes, the first tool comes there, and it is called bearing preload tool. You can see it here. That is part number. You can see also this here, and it's quite expensive tool, up to $400, and you can find something like this sometimes, and I was lucky to buy it for that price. And the tool you can see here. So that is the tool. It's preload the drive shaft, actually just rise it up. I don't cover this tool in full details here, because I did a separate video actually about this tool. You will find the link in the description. So it's there. There we make some decision if you really need this tool or not. So we have this first tool here, and now let's go to the next. The next tool called backlash indicator tool. It is not so expensive, but quite expensive for this piece of metal. So it is here. You can see it's here. It has marks on it. Let me try to focus on the mark. You can see number 4, I think. Well, I don't see, but probably when you watch this from the screen you will see it. So the mark there. And where we take this mark, we see it here, backlash indicator tool mark. You should set 4 or 9.3. Honestly, I don't know where is 9.3 and why 4 or 9.3, but I see 4 there. So we touch this mark, which is there, 4. Probably if you rotate it, no, I don't know. I just see 4, and I am fine with this. If later I will find something else, I will cover this. So we have this indicator tool. Yeah. And this marks, I said here, need and do it yourself. So need, and probably you can do it yourself. Yeah. Well, if you know the dimensions, you probably can do this. And all these marks for other tools actually are covered, will be covered in the video where I do this full assembly. So again, subscribe to see it, or already covered in some videos that are on my channel, and I either mentioned them or will mention or will put in the description. And actually I also probably plan to make a separate video just about all the tools for this procedure. not this procedure, but the full assembly procedure I meant. So the next is the indicator, yeah, and adapter kit. Where the indicator and the kit you use to install it here, and indicator that will touch this indicator tool. And guys, that is very expensive tool. I don't even have the price here. And in my understanding, you don't need this special indicator. You can use any quality indicator, and I decided to go with Japanese Mitutoyo. If I remember right, either 37 or 73 euro. I bought it, and yeah, you can see it here. Yeah, so quality indicator, and here you can see the stand. Yeah, this way. So in my understanding, again, you can use any stand and indicator which is convenient to use. So the stand, you can find good and bad stands. This one is okay and not expensive, and setup with this one knob is quite interesting. Well, doesn't matter, the stand and the indicator. So it looks like you can use alternative version, so I set it alternative. Of course you need it and you cannot do it yourself. So that's what we have, but let's talk about it a little bit more. First is that it is magnetic, but this is not magnetic, yeah? So you can clamp it here, yeah, I did it before. But it's still not so convenient. Well, it might be okay. I consider to maybe to make my own harness that will go here, screw here, and will hold this one here. So something similar to what is shown here, but I am not yet sure. Let's talk about the procedure in details. So you imagine we have one gear here, another here. If you cannot imagine, then watch my video where I show you how it works in this nice cut. So we have them, and you can imagine if we move it here, we have more gap, here less gap. But I will allow you to hear it. So that's what we hear is the gap or clearance that we have here. How we set it? By moving this gear and either adding or removing what is called shims. I have just one now, somewhere I lost another one. So we just put more or less. The worst about this procedure that we do it almost at the end of the assembly, yeah? So look how many things we had. So we actually pressed this race with the shim at the very beginning, yeah, at the early stage. So it means that if we failed with the size, with the clearance, we need to disassemble everything. And the worst thing for disassembly is removing this race. I have all video about disassembly, how I removed this race, everything about this gear housing in the same playlist. So, and next, what I found that I'm not really convenient to understand where is the clearance or gap and where is the movement of the shaft. So look, when I put the indicator that touches the mark there, I even stop here, well, this gap. Or after I hit it, I definitely have a movement, yeah, of the shaft, which is not already about the clearance. You should of course lock the prop shaft according to the documentation. Yeah, I tried this, and according to documentation you do this procedure before you install the shift shaft. You can see, yeah, the shift shaft will come later. It says that lightly rotate drive shaft back and forth, because if you do it not lightly, then you have more movement. without moving this anyway. So from one guys I learned, or I don't know why, but they set the shift shaft. I don't know if they set if they shift into gears when they did this procedure, but they do this test at the end when the shift shaft is installed. Actually, it might help somehow. I don't know yet. Yeah, really, I demonstrated you how everything works last year in this geohousing and forgot. And I'm lazy to watch my own video and understand again what will happen when we set the shift shaft, shift into gear, and lock the prop. I do know that we will have shift shaft, drive shaft movement in any direction when nothing is locked, or actually even when something is locked. So that's I remember from my own video. Yeah, but anyway, I'm going to install the shift shaft now and try the procedure with shift shaft, because as I explained to you, I'm not convenient about understanding where is the gap and where is the movement in the current situation. So I am already loose bolts here. I need to remove it now, install shift shaft, and try procedure when we shift into some gear. Let's see if it helps. Guys, I installed the shift shaft. I don't show it in this video because this video is about backlash for forward gear procedure, and I have a lot of video where I explain how the shift into gear works, including the video with this cut again in the same playlist where this video you will find it. But guys, I actually found one interesting thing about this stand. It's actually removable, so from this one, and you have this bolt, let's say, and I decided that I install to this mounting hole, and we have very good position without no movement, and the only nut you need here, unique nut extender, is that one for 8 millimeters. And then it's up to you what kind of bolts you have in your garage. I don't have the short one, so I will use nuts as a stand off, and will mount it there, and it will be firm. Yeah. So, and then I match the indicator tool on the height, on the suitable height. So look how stiff it is here now. So the conclusion, you don't need the original stand as long as you buy a good stand with the same idea where you can dismount it and mount it here. And I believe that you don't need original indicator. We will know this probably soon, I don't know yet. So we shift into forward, and look, I watched my own video again, meditated a little bit. Yes, when you shift into forward, of course you always can rotate drive shaft in any direction. However, when the outboard works, it's only clockwise direction, so you can rotate. However, when you are in forward, this rotation will cause also rotation of the prop shaft. And guys, now if we lock the prop shaft, look, we still have backlash. Yeah. So, and now when being in forward, we lock the prop shaft, I think we might be better detect the backlash, easy to find it. I don't know why this procedure is not described in the manual. I remind you that in the manual the procedure for backlash is before you install the shift shaft. So I don't know what will be the result. And moreover, from my attempt to do this procedure before, shift shaft installed, I got the numbers, I don't believe them. So I got almost one circle on the indicator, which is about 95, one indicator, you got the point. So I got 0.95 millimeters there, and we aim for average 0.36. It is according to this manual here, yeah. So backlash specification, that one, the middle will be 0.36. By the way, who answer why they have to one gear case mentioned here for the user manual, for that one will probably get some price from me, because I don't know why they mention it here. So we aim for that, which means that difference. And look here, by adding shim 0.05, we change backlash 0.025, which means 2 to 1 or 1 to 2. So means that we should multiply this by 2, which is more than 1 millimeters, and I don't trust it. So the previous one I had 0.9, and we already have 0.25. Do we really need 0.25 plus about 1 millimeters? I don't think so. So the probably something has been done wrong. Yeah, definitely. So I will try now when we have the shift shaft and we are in the forward, and let's see what happens. Moment 5 and 1. Well, let it be 5. Yeah, torque range you can find yourself. So guys, I think you realize that 5 Newton meters is just a slightly push and hold, yeah? You actually push this prop shaft there because it has some backlash, and you hold it. And guys, yeah, and I shift into forward gear first. And guys, look at this miracle. Now it's so easy to see this backlash without real movement. I still can rotate hard clockwise, and we will get the movement on the prop shaft. You should see it now, yeah, but it's much easier. And I was amazed about this. However, guys, I'm not yet sure if this helps. So probably that what make the main job, because previously I didn't have this puller, and I didn't try before I installed the shift shaft. By the way, watch the separate video about the puller. I highly recommend to buy the original one. It is extremely difficult to find the right one or do it yourself. So watch the separate video about this puller. So now I have it. But I have it after I installed the shift shaft. That's why we try to test this backlash now, and then I will show you what happens when we shift into gear in the position when the shaft is pushed. Actually, I already tested several times, and we still have rotation clockwise, and when you remove this, release this, the shifting start working again correctly. Well, guys, it is true that I demonstrated you how everything is built inside, but it was a year ago. I already forgot myself how it works. I know more or less, but I don't understand right now the theory above this, why when it's pushed there shifting into gears works differently. So I probably need to rewatch my video again and try to understand this, or we will actually test it. So now we will try to find backlash here, then I show you what happens when we oops, I did it now, no? What happens when I shift into gears when it's pushed, and then I think I will remove shift shaft, and we try procedure according to the documentation. Without shift shaft, install it, however, when the prop shaft is pushed there. So let's start from that one. Yes, guys, when everything is firm here, it's much easier to install the tool, but I told I'm not comfortable with this kind of tool anyway. I hope I did the right setup, and when we are at the start point, I set it to 0. I loaded it here, but look what we have. We have one scale, means 100, not even 95, as I mentioned before, 100, which means 1 millimeters, if I did everything correct. So we come again to the same numbers. It means that we need to add 1.2 millimeter shim on the top of 0.25. So I have 0.9. Probably I am doing something wrong. So the only way to continue anyway, to open everything again, but starting from the shift shaft, removing and trying this procedure when the prop shaft is pressed. But now let's record material about what happens when the prop shaft in this position and we're trying to shift into gear. Just record this material. So as you can see in the forward, when this pushed, it's rotating clockwise as it should be. In neutral, it also rotates clockwise, but we should not see rotation here in neutral. And when we set to reverse, then it's stuck at all. But actually we should see rotation anti-clockwise. Again, guys, it's just recorded material. I just put it to the video. I should myself rewatch my video about the structure there to understand why it happens. Now I remove it and I show you how it should work. Actually, it demonstrated many times in other video, but we should also see it here, I believe. You have seen everything what I said before. I don't want to repeat it. Well, guys, I actually set to neutral and locked the shaft again, because neutral is the same like no shift shaft, yeah? So, and I see, yeah, so about the same, more or less. I have seen a little bit less than 0.9. Actually, I think it's depending on where exactly you set this, more or less few millimeters, or what will be the angle here. I think I do have a big backlash. Unfortunately, it doesn't tell me by just moving here is it big or not, because I don't have to come any new lower unit to compare with. I probably will have soon and maybe even add to this video. but as for now I need to remove everything, including the race. I don't show it in this video because the video is dedicated to this procedure, and moreover you have on my channel things that are covering all dismounting all parts from the lower unit. So I will do this and we will see if the numbers will change. Yeah guys, everything is opened, removed, and I added 09 and push this race, punched this race again. There I added 09 because I don't have real experience with this stuff and I don't know how much I can trust. It says approximately, yeah, I covered this 2 to 1, yeah, means 09 shim will remove 0.45 backlash, yeah. So 0.95 or 0.9 what we see now with 0.25 already. So I decided not to remove 0.25 and not to put 0.9 alone. I decided to add it on the top of this. Means that we remove this backlash, we have either 0.5 or 0.45 still out of range, but because of no real experience I don't know what we will see. So I just add it and we will see, do new assembly, and we know what we have now and hope it will be fine. Let's see if I'm lucky today, or probably not today. Guys, when I did this, assembled this, I immediately see then there is no that backlash here and only a little bit up, and I think no backlash there on the gears. And so it concerned me. I checked again with this tool the set of Pinion Gear, and it's now too little, too small. So I'm not sure how it's possible that this gear now closer to here, it should probably rise it, but not allow this to be lower. But I think the structure of them is so that it holds now the drive shaft from rising up, and that's why the gap is smaller. So I strongly believe that I should go with just 0.9 probably, like it was in the old case and with some other guys. So I should think about this overnight. Well, on the next day I decided just to put all the stuff back again and to see what happens. And guys, look, we don't have backlash at all, almost, which is also bad, right? And of course we also don't have this movement. So I decided that in the future, subscribe to see the video, in the future I will probably open this case. It is broken Mercury. If they don't replace by the warranty, I will open, take parts from here, and we will study on this card again, not again, but we study this problem. What happens when we change shims here and shims there? My best guess that they affect each other. It is not described here in the manual. So, but in my understanding now, you should have experience, and I don't have. So now I probably have experience, and soon we will know also if my idea is correct. But it looks like when you change this, you should also change this. If you change this, you should change this. So they affect on each other. It looks like, because interconnection between gears changes. I don't know. So we will study this later in the future video in details, all the processes, what happened there, including when we push this prop shaft. But for now I decided that I will leave only 0.9. It looks like 0.9 there and 0.5 there. It looks like this gearcase needs 0.9. it looks so. All facts say about this, I don't know. Maybe this approximately, which is described, not here, where is it, where was it, here approximately, maybe it's 2 approximately, I don't know, but this math doesn't work. So I leave 0.9 and see what happens. I just want to explain the challenge again about disassembly. You really need to remove everything again. So now you need to use slide hammer to remove this race there, but before this you need to remove the drive shaft, because otherwise you cannot remove pinion gear. Yeah, so it is the challenge every time, just to change the shim. Here both 0.25, 0.9, you see the difference. Yeah, I have really doubts that if I remove 0.25 it will be okay. Yeah, I probably will need to disassemble 5th time. The race stuff is definitely now is a quick job for me, but the rest is quite difficult still, because you have well, with one hand all nuts, it's quite difficult. So we can see the difference. We remove 0.25 and can see the difference immediately. And also when you don't rise it and trying to rotate, I don't like that sound, but probably it's okay, I don't remember. When you rise, then it's fine. So I do final, not final, but assembly again, and let's see. So guys, after several days we again at the starting point. So I didn't put the shift shaft, I assembled this. We are again here. That is procedure. Without shift shaft, I actually see the difference now between one bed and the second bed result, when we had just 0.25 and when we have both. So, and now we have 0.9, and so I rise and I really feel that the gap is smaller. Yeah, I still a little bit concerned about where is the clutch. Is it okay this way? But that is how it's in the user manual. So I will do this way. We'll later check what is happening, what process happening there. So I put the tool that will preload it. We test the backlash, and let's see if we are successful. We probably test another time with the shift shaft. Guys, you won't believe, I have to celebrate. I give you a few seconds to make your stakes about what value we will get. So we should be here within this one. Look at this. Look at this. Guys, 32, 33. Yeah? Guys, yeah, so I try to set now everything parallel, perpendicular, everything perfectly. Yeah, here in the middle of the mark. So, but it's not about how I set it. It's about the shim. Yeah, so, and you can feel it. Yeah, so I feel it. When we had both, I didn't feel any gap. When we had 0.25, huge gap, and now I can feel the difference. And the indicator shows that we are within the range. Actually, in the beginning, I see almost the middle of the range. Yeah, so now it's still depending how you set it, but it is 32, yeah, maybe 33, yeah. So that's amazing, guys. I'm making conclusion, and probably you need to follow this. It will be a huge money saving, time saving advice for you. I think it was through the whole video, this video and the video where I do assembly of this. I think this particular part number, this gear case housing, comes 409 shim there and 05 there. So they work both all together. So I think you shouldn't start by the manual from 025, this case, and 036 here. You should start from 09 there and 05 there, and most likely it will fit, because I had 09 there. I have seen other people had 09, and here we have 09 there and 05 there. Let me know in comments if some of you rebuild what shims fits yours. So if you don't rebuild yourself, ask your service center what they apply, just for statistic and for other people to know. And I also keen to know what works for you. Yeah, let me meditate if we want to test with the shift shaft installed and then some shifting into some gear, but I believe we don't need to do this. It works according to the manual here. You don't need the shift shaft now. So anyway, I need to lock the let me focus. Yeah, I'm so happy now, so I lost what I wanted to say. Let me focus and then let's see what next. Guys, by the way, we need to check Pinion Gear Backlash now. Yeah, with this tool, the video was about procedure of another backlash, but we found that they are related. We found that this and this shim, they are related. But what I want to say now that this moth doesn't work. Yeah, so maybe I'm stupid for several days, but 1 to 2, 2 to 1. No, we had that. We have this now. That's what we removed. Backlash by removing 0.25 shim. Multiply 2, divide by 2, we don't have that. So I think this math doesn't work. I don't know, maybe you know some secret or what is here. Maybe I'm really hard to understand something now. Here I cover this only shortly, briefly, because in the video where I do full assembly of this lower unit, I explain all things and cover the tools. So you see the tool and you see the clearance that we need to test. This tool simulates this gear, replace this gear, and now I test, check this clearance and tell you results. But subscribe to see video where I do assembly. It's covered there. I already recorded material, so I don't want to repeat it here. And guys, this clearance should be 0.64, or that is in inches. And I have 3 fillers, and the result that I got, yeah, what is okay? So the result that 0.6 more or less go, 0.65 doesn't go, and 0.63 about to go. Well, I describe this way. So I really have the right gap. The same like when we had only 0.25 shim here. It's really now become clear that yeah, 0.5 is a good position here. Look, when we had 0.25 there, it's almost the same like we don't have gear here at all, and we rise pinion on a specific height that is affected only by the shim here. I hope I'm explained clearly. So let's imagine that we don't have anything, no gears here, nothing, just the shim there and rise pinion, and then we measure this distance between future reverse gear and the pinion gear. So that is when we have the right 0.64. So that's what we had with 0.25, and that's what we have now. And when we added shim, extra shim, we definitely changed something that the pinion gear cannot actually rise. That's why we had lower gap. I don't know why, but as I told, we will see this in the future video using this cut. So wonderful, we have everything set. So it's time to make conclusion. Well guys, what conclusions we can make? I demonstrated you two the most important procedures that you have to make. You have to make when you rebuild a lower unit. So setting backlash, two of them. Otherwise, you will crush your lower unit soon or later. So we dedicated more time to the procedure about this gear and pinion gear with these tools, but another backlash was also covered shortly. About the tools, you need this tool. You cannot do it yourself. We found that we can use alternative indicator and stand, and probably this stand even better. You can use it somewhere else, so you don't need original. By the way, I paid only 57 euro for this Japanese one, so you can use alternative version. I used this also to check both shafts. Preload tool, we have dedicated video, I explained you, and there we make a conclusion, do we need the original one? It's very convenient. The purpose is just to rise this shaft. This 1 inch, well, it doesn't matter, one or not one, it doesn't rise it to a specific height. It rises it to the maximum height. I can clearly see this. It's very convenient, it's expensive. You probably can do some other tool, but you have to have it. So yeah, and this little guy you need to buy if you don't know how to make it yourself. Yeah, guys, I believe there is unique content that you haven't seen anywhere else, so I hope you will subscribe, do your comments and likes, because that is the only things that encourage me to share this information with you. And see you in the next video, for example, where I rebuild this unit and where we check things on this cut. Bye.